Come on, brain. Come on, can you do this, brain? Come
Brain.
Come on, brain.
Really?
Do this. So it's very easy to be funny about things, but the reality is, how can the brain, body and mind synergize? All people seek a sense of family, but our brains, bodies and minds are already one. Everything, though, comes through our minds. Up here, yeah. Our bodies just move, and they'll only do that if they're instructed, though, by our brains. So that's a different thing. But our minds are watching over the movement and guiding it as it goes. Difficult? Tricky? Confused? I don't blame you. So let's simplify. Think of the mind, body and brain like a traditional family, a really traditional functional family. The brain, in this case, is the father, and the body is the child. So father and child. And the mind, well, the mind is the mother. The brain, like most fathers, well, it does things with almost immediate action. It's just, at times it really doesn't stop and think. Unfortunately, us men can be a lot like that. It's actively immediate. It just gets up and goes. Like a good father who gets up early to go out to work in the morning and earn money for his family because he wants to be the provider, his actions as soon as he wakes are automatic, like that. He jumps from the pillow and springs into battle. Doesn't really contemplate other things. And without a thought or care in the world, he just does and goes. He's charged. He's the father. He's the brain. That morning energy is his fuel, and he knows it. And before he knows it, his masculinity is just pushing the time along. And that's the way he goes, dogmatic towards what he's doing. Now, as he gets ready for the day ahead, like a typical old-fashioned man, he chooses his clothing practically. There's no fancy thing here. Instead, he throws on whatever is nearest to him, and only thinks of the value of warmth in the garment, rather than the impression of style or state of hygiene. Style, come on. And the state of hygiene is the same for his trousers or his jumper. Breakfast for him is all about filling that hole in the stomach, which is easily accomplished by, bulking up with whatever is nearest to him in the refrigerator or cupboard. He just doesn't think about diet as such. He just wants to fuel to get going. He stomps around, along with everything he does, getting through each early morning chore. So the box is essentially, ticked, and as soon as he can manage it, it's done. Finesse is not his thing, but getting things done now presents his achievement, because it's about the immediacy of doing things. It's about getting things done and dusted. No complaints. What about the body then? The body is different. Like most good children, and in this analogy, the body is a child, the body will only do as it's told, traditionally. Traditional families we're talking. And when the child's parents are the brain and the mind, the father being the brain, the mother being the mind, then the body will laze about until it has been given direction or guidance about what's the smartest thing to do. Monkey see, monkey do. But not all bodies are just hangabout. Like a hyperactive, say, young child, some bodies move a lot but burn up their energy and fail to be productive unless they have some sort of goal, some sort of aim. That's when they can fall on their elbow or knee and suddenly need to stop, but don't know why this happened to them in the first place. Now I'm talking about a really small, younger child, hyperactive. Then the mind. Now, the mind, M&Ms? Not really. The mind, though, is the mother. Now, like a good mother, the mind holds the keys to the emotions. They have the ability to create with harmony and joy. When they rise in the morning, they are aware that the The bed needs to be made, or fresh sheets need to be laid, for that welcoming scent and allure that will dress the bed for the next night of rest. She, the mind, the mother in this case, looks out for the emotions of the father and begins the early day chatter to foster caring assurances of her child as they get active. The child is, of course, the body. So although she, the mind, i.e. the mother, is busy, she tries to keep her husband and child's needs close to her own needs as she organises things that have been, well, quickly gone through without much time for any emotion by her husband, who is the brain. Get it? So we're now harmonizing the brain with the mind, and of course the body, because the family, the brain, body, and the mind, again, although the brain, the body, and the mind do things differently, they try to live together in harmony with one another. And all three are a system, and without one, they are not fully complete. They're not whole. Each part, that is the brain, the mind, the body, does something different and relies on the other to fulfill its functional needs. Now, let's go back to the body, the brain, and the mind for real, and not just the family. And think about it, because at times it's tricky to figure out which is more important in the family. But all are uniquely special and vital to the smooth running of the household. Like, think of your family. Think of the family you've grown up in. Who's the most important? If I was to ask the question, who is the one person that's most important? It's tricky to find out. It's the sum of all these three parts, you see, the brain, the mind, and the body, that makes them whole, complete. The mind's emotions, though, although we can look at the human being from all these three perspectives of the brain, the body, and the mind, it's the latter one there that I've just mentioned, the mind or the mother in the story there. This mind holds the emotions that dictate the global family and its daily happiness. So as thoughts flow in from our brains, it's up to the mind to decide if they are worthy of taking action. Ever seen that movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding? Well, the woman, be it the mind, female, mother, wife, she twists the head of the man. And the head of the man, well, he makes the decisions in the traditional Greek family. But the thing about it is, the woman is referred to as the neck. Good one, eh? At times it may become stuck, yes, and want more time to figure things out. But it still knows that it must let go of that thought, because there are others in the family that need to take action. They need to fulfill their role in the system. And that is why guilt, shame, regret, and like strong emotions can slow us down physically over the years. So this whole emotion just drips, feeds itself throughout the body over the years and slows us down. If the mind doesn't regulate the thoughts coming from the brain, then the other parts of the body will be delayed in doing what they do best. But like a great mother, she can always bring other emotions to the table. And the other emotions, of course, can be positive. And they can be happiness, joy, and excitement, for example. She shows, that is the mother, the mind, unconditional love to every family member and allows them to be themselves, as this is why she carried them inside her for 9 months long. So the mind is bringing together the brain, the body, and managing it, because it was at that time that she wished for us to grow when life was presented to us with that chance. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you get something from it. And now I hope you understand this whole symphony and harmony that goes on between here and the rest of us. So, if you've enjoyed it, hit that subscribe button. Until next time though, have a wonderful day.